Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of Giro Preview. Today we take a look at Team Visma Lease bike, one of the favorites for just a very solid Giro. They have some extremely strong riders. You wouldn't point to any of them as a real weak point. Maybe Bart Lemon, but he's definitely no pushover. He's a very strong, capable rider in his own right. Simon Yates is the great GC hope of the team. You would say he's going to have a weak lineup around him. Stage one has started at the time of recording this, and Steven Kruijswijk is sat on the front of the peloton on a sprinter's stage. So how tight is he going to be going uphill? Van Baal's capable, but not of getting all the way out. Wilco Kelderman is probably the last land in the mountains. Van Aert obviously capable, but of how much? I think the general consensus is have Yates up in the GC, but don't push it. I think they're just going to let Yates ride, get as high a position as he can with a couple of teammates, and sell out for some stage wins with the most accomplished sprinter on the start line, Olav Koy. He has to be the favorite of every single flat sprint. Um, Maybe with Sam Bennett if he's on form, but I don't see anyone else that you'd be worried about. A relatively weak sprint class. Obviously, there's Sam Bennett. Um, who else is even here? Paul Manier, see what he can do. Running low on sprinters, just having a look around. Milan Fretin, Hayden Groves, notable one. And there's one more, another Aussie slash New Zealander, I forget. Oh, Corbin Strong, Kiwi. I couldn't remember who it was. But yeah, notable lack of top level sprinters. No Milan, nothing like that. Olaf Koy is the best sprinter at the race, and he has to prove it. And not a noted climbing sprinter. He's not a versatile sprinter. He needs a flat run in and a strong lead out. Strong lead out, covered. Kruijswijk is going to get burnt up at the start. Helderman is going to be on early. And then Eduardo Affini, Bart Lemon, Dylan Van Baal, and Eduardo Affini, if I didn't say already. What a strong lead out that will be. Challenged only probably by Decathlon Agitoir, who really have gone all in on a sprint train. Maybe Cofidis to take over late. They have a significant amount of flat riders all in for Milan 15. Um, but yeah, Olav Koy, any climbs that he can't get over, you have arguably the best versatile sprinter in terms of being able to get over a mountain and having a sprint in Wout van Aert. Now, obviously, Mads Pedersen, I think, is at this race. If I'm not mistaken, he is for Lidl Trek. Um, that is going to be the biggest challenge. Any surviving climb where Van Aert survives, he will also survive. So does he outsprint him? Maybe not, but there's a good few opportunities for them. As for what makes this tour a success for them, Simon Yates, top five has to be the goal, top 10 um, at a minimum. I don't see a world in which he falls out of the top 10 unless he chooses to go on some raids into some breakaways. If he does, I don't think it'd be the worst decision he'd ever make. And he could probably nick a stage win on his own. He'll personally feel like a stage win is his minimum, but I'd be a little bit shocked if he did get one. I think his GC is going to write him out of a lot of the breakaway stages. Van Aert has to get himself a stage win. Not been on the best of form from memory. We can have a quick look. Fourth in Amstel Gold, fourth in Roubaix, fourth at Van Vlaanderen, um, second at Dwars de Vlaanderen, 11th at Omloop Het Nieuwsblad. Not look overly strong. Yet to get a stage win. Always there or thereabouts, but yet to get an actual stage win. The nine-time stage winner at the Tour de France. Won most of the monuments. Three stages at Vuelta a España and the points jersey at the Tour de France. You can never count him out of a stage win. And as I said, going back to Olaf Koy, what a kind of average year he's had to start. Two stage wins at Tour of Oman, that's solid. Second at Kern, Brussels Kern. Fourth and a stage win at Tirreno Adriatico. Third on a stage. Third on the points class there. did all right at Milano San Remo, and then nothing really since. It is certainly not a weak start, but for what he is very capable of, you would say he could have done a little bit better at some of those. For this to be a success for them, the goal has to be, I'd say, three stage wins. If Olaf Koy has good legs, he could get three on his own. Wout van Aert has two or three chances at a stage win, and you'd argue you could send him up in the break, and if it gets brought back, you've not had to work all day, and you'll have the freshest sprint train because it would fall onto Decathlon Agitoir to hold them and bring them all back. And if they do decide to, they're going to be two or three riders down. You'll be one, and granted, it is Wout van Aert who's very strong and probably your last man in the lead out, but still, you're a rider up, and Olaf Koy should be able to take it. So three stage wins plus maybe one from Yates, one from Van Aert. You're looking at three as a minimum. If they get less than two, they will come out of this extremely unhappy. Thank you very much for watching though, guys, and I appreciate any likes, comments, or subscribes that you guys can leave me. Um, Let me know if you think Van Aert's going to get a stage win this year. He's looked there or thereabouts all year. Can he get himself over a line? Especially when he's riding in support of Olive Koy a lot. Van Aert might get used to send up and take some points away from his competitors in Maglia Ciclamina. Um, but he's going to ride a domestique role, and we'll see how he slots in. Can Simon Yates finally put together a 3 week core? He's obviously won the Vuelta, but he's always faltered towards the end of a Tour de France and the likes. Yet to get a stage win in this year, only a couple of top tens, and yet to finish higher than ninth at a GC. I don't see it as one of his years to challenge for the pink jersey. Top five, again, will be his kind of limit, I feel. And that is all for this episode of Giro Preview. So, what do you think? Team Visma Lease a bike. Happy Giro.